Katalina Rose here again to show you another tutorial on how to do pinup styles, whether it's hair or makeup or the fashion. So I did get a request to show how to do a victory roll, so the victory rolls. But what I'm going to do first is really just show how to do kind of the upright suicide roll, which is like the classic one big roll that a lot of people go for. And I like to talk about just the texture of my hair and things like that, because there's so many videos out there that are so helpful, but they're also on much thicker hair, maybe curly hair, or we don't really know if their hair is straight or curly. So I'll tell you all what my hair is like so you know if this video may or may not be exactly how to do it for your own hair. So I personally have kind of fine hair. I know it looks thicker. That is a trick of doing one solid color hair, and for it being kind of dirty. So when your hair is dirtier, it can kind of show as though it's thicker. And this is kind of day-old, very light curls. So this is exactly how my hair texture is, pretty straight and kind of flat to the head, as you can see here. So not a lot of volume. It's like not fun. But that'll help y'all who have maybe fine hair or thinning hair and think that you can't do these styles. I will show you ways to do them. And I'm going to try to go through this as quick as possible and do a voiceover so that I can show you all how this is done in real time. Bonus is that I'm going to also show you how to roll the back down in a way that allows you to do a scarf really, really cute and have almost looking like a bouffant in the back, and then the roll in the front. So you'll get a roll, you'll get the little bouffant in the back, and you'll also get how to tie the scarf. So this is like a 3-in-1, and usually this only takes me about 10 minutes. So my hope for y'all is, and that's on like a bad day, sometimes even 5 minutes, depending on how my hair already is set. So my hope is that for y'all, it really won't take that much time. Maybe if you're a novice to this, or this is something you haven't tried before, be patient with yourself. It may take a little longer, and that is okay. Okay, all right, so I'm gonna hop in. So first, some of the things that you need is a rat tail comb, okay? Doesn't really matter which, doesn't have to be perfect or expensive. Dollar Tree is good. A smoothing comb, and I got this from Sally Beauty Supply, and it's called Amped Up. And then I just use a regular brush for the part where I'll be putting my hair in a ponytail. Some bobby pins that match your color, your hair color. I use retro vinyl, which is, I got this years ago when I first started doing pinup, and it works pretty well. For black hair, it makes it look super shiny, so I like that part of it. And then I use Freeze It Hair Care hairspray. So the first thing that you want to do is section off your hair. It helps to section it off on the side, like a side part, so that the roll sits more to the middle or over to the side. And then when you're making this section cut, you're going to want to do it kind of like a square, so that the teasing of the middle part can be more conical in shape, almost like a pyramid on top of your head, so you can kind of see that square cutout. And then what I'm doing is just wrapping it up and clipping it down so that I can put the rest of my hair in a ponytail. So now you want to start doing your ponytail. And you can do this even if your hair is medium length or at least short, but can still go up into a ponytail. And you want to make it as high as possible, smoothing it out on the sides and the back. No need to make it perfect in the back because you are going to cover it with a scarf. But if you don't plan to cover it with a scarf, make sure it's smooth all the way around. Make it nice and tight. And now we're going to work on our roll. So technically the roll we're doing here is a upside suicide roll, which is essentially 1/2 of the victory rolls. All right, so we got our conical shape. You can almost kind of see that there. It's like a pyramid or a cone. And then we start teasing each section. So you can part it side to side and tease the sections, or back to front. Today I'm doing back to front, but sometimes it depends which way I'm rolling or just whatever I feel like that day. It can pretty much work no matter what. And I have really thin, fine hair, so I try to tease smaller sections and then spray with hairspray in between. And then go through with the comb and kind of tease them together. You might hear my cats purring on this recording. So where I know I'm going to roll the roll over, I want to make sure it is nice and sturdy underneath to hold it up. Then spraying it down, showing you that almost pyramid-like shape there. And that can be the start of a lot of pinup hairdos, just right there. And now I'm smoothing it over with a pomade. Not too much because you don't want to weigh it down. And then I'm taking the smoothing comb and going over it, kind of at a little bit of an angle, not directly on, but to where the brush is almost sideways to the hair. And then smooth it with your hands. And then wrapping it around the thumbs, making sure that it doesn't get twisted, kind of like the way you would around your finger. You want to make sure it's almost like completely flat around your thumb. And then you pull the hair out. Tuck any strands that are poking out under with your fingers, or you can use the rat tail of a comb and roll down. And I'm noticing that the back is a little fuzzy, maybe from not smoothing it down in the back well enough. So I'm going to smooth that down a little better and re-roll. And notice I didn't have to use any heating tools or any additional tools, just really using my thumb and fingers. And now I'm rolling again. It does not have to be perfect. And you want to make sure to roll to where it sets in the front, so there's no holes. Okay, so I like that height, so I'm going to start to pin it. I hold it down with my fingers. My fingers almost holding the hair in place, and then the pin going underneath. So I make sure I like the shape before I continue pinning. Okay. Make sure your pins match your hair color so they hide. Usually I use about 3, but when you're new you may have to use a couple more. And I'll angle it down and then through. That way it almost hides the majority of the pin. Okay, awesome. Spray that sucker. Now we're going to do the back. And now we're going to take a dollar store donut in the color of your hair, or whatever's closest, and then you're going to cut that in half. For those of you that have colored hair, lots of fun colors, you can always spray paint this to match if you needed to. So now you're going to take your ponytail and hold it up high above your head. And you don't have to do this, especially if you have thick hair, but I like to tease a little bit underneath just to give it a little extra volume. And now you take your donut half and you take it to the very top and roll the ends around, and holding it down with your fingers, you start to roll the donut half. Okay, then you get it to the base of your head, twist it a little bit so it sits kind of flat, and start smoothing out the hair to the sides to cover it. And then once you hold that in place, you're going to pin the actual donut to the rest of your head, or the flat part of your ponytail. And then you also want to put pins in the back, which we'll do in a minute. And then you pull the hair down over the ends that are showing of the donut hole, and then you pin those hairs in place. So right now I'm making sure it's smooth in the back and then pinning the back in place. And I'm kind of pushing it up a little bit just to give it a little bit more oomph. And then pulling that hair down and pinning it in place over the donut half so you can't see it. So it looks like I have tons of volume. It's nice and shiny and smooth. Getting it really secure in the back. Okay, so for the scarf, there's many ways you can do this. This is kind of a nylon and cotton scarf. I like the ones with cotton because it kind of stays on its own on your hair. Otherwise, it's going to slip around a bit too much. You want to match the ends into a T, or into a triangle like that. Have it go flat like that. Fold it in so that it is like that. And then you can fold it again. There's a lot of different ways that you can do this. You can make it so that it's just wide and flat like that. Or you can actually, if you wanted to do a look where the scarf is kind of the highlight rather than your hair, you can have the tip go over this style and then land behind the roll. Because I want to show off my little poop in the back, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to fold it 3 ways here so that it's just like that. Nothing too fancy. Tuck that little tail in there. And you can always adjust it too once you get it on your head. Going up like this, and doing 1 tuck under, making sure it lands behind your roll. And I do a kind of a loose pull so that I can adjust these edges here. I want to tuck that. And then in the back, before I pull any tighter, I use a clip that matches the scarf a little bit better, which is like a blonde color almost for this one. And I put 1 and then 2, like a crisscross in the back. These you can kind of take out later if needed. Then I pull, and then before I do any more styling there, whoops, I get it as tight as I want it, and I put another pin right here. Okay. Cool, cool. All right, so from here you can do a lot of things. You can twist it around one time, pull, and then tuck it back underneath, or tie it in the back depending on how much is left, kind of like a knot there. You can tie it into a bow so that there's like a lot of color right here. Or you can just tie it one more time. I like to tie mine nice and loose there. You can actually tuck from there too. No, I need to go back. Or you can just tie one big knot to keep hitting my roll. And then tie these together in the back. Oh my gosh. Tie. Okay. So a million different ways you can do this. I kind of like the bow, but if you really want to show off this little pomp in the back, you may want to keep it flatter so that you can see it more. Pose, enjoy. And I've tugged on my roll a million times, so it's still held up. We're doing good. Spray that sucker down. Woo! All right, let me know if you guys have any other tutorials that you want me to do, and I will be here for you. Just like and subscribe and put some comments in so I know what else you want to see or if you have any questions. All right, thank you. Bye.